So I feel an obligation for us to talk about Portland. The reason we talked a bit about Mayor Wheeler having done something unusual last time, which is he stood up and said that the anarchists who are breaking the windows of businesses and setting fires and all have to be, in his words, unmasked and arrested. The anarchists came back this week, and I don't know the anarchists, but someone among the anarchists, a self-declared member of Antifa, put out a video in the style of Anonymous. But this was actually quite different than any Anonymous video I've seen before. Zach, do you want to show it? Yeah.
Hello. We come to you as a small collective from within the anarchist and anti-fascist community. We do not speak for the whole, as each individual may carry different ideologies and beliefs about how things could, should, or will be accomplished. We hope with this message to simply convey a few points that are commonly agreed upon within this community. The mayor of this city is undeserving of his position. He has made it abundantly clear that windows to him are more important than human lives. But we are not just challenging the idea of having Ted as a mayor. We are challenging the idea of having mayors at all. We want abolition. Abolition is absolute. If peaceful marches, speeches, and voting were enough to bring about that goal, then we would have already been there. Window smashing and riots are a necessary escalation when those in power have proven that they are unwilling to listen and have made the choice to ignore you. We are moving with a sense of urgency because not only is the system destroying us, it's destroying the very planet that we live on. This movement encompasses the liberation of all those oppressed by the system, whether it be black, indigenous, Hispanic, etc. Nobody owns this movement, and wanting to or trying to claim ownership of this movement just leads to more division, which is counterproductive to all of our goals. We are on the same side though, and the more time we spend fighting each other, the less energy we have to fight the true enemy. So let's start local, with our own city's failed leadership. Ted, we are asking for the last time that you resign. If you ignore this message outright, the destruction to your precious way of life is going to escalate. Blood is already on your hands, Ted, but next time, it may just be your own.
Okay, so what you've just seen is a video in which Ted Wheeler is threatened at the end and doxxed. The video that we showed had his address blurred out, but anyway, this is quite serious stuff to have anarchists threatening your mayor and police chief, and I'm very much hoping that Mayor Wheeler will stand his ground, and I think that this is evidence that he needs to actually increase his commitment even beyond, because obviously this is a response to his saying that they need to be unmasked and arrested, and if they're going to up the ante by threatening public officials, then obviously capitulation would be an insane thing to do. And, anyway, I hope he has the courage to do what must be done. But the other thing is, this has not been widely reported.
Yeah.
And that I find absolutely stunning.
There was a death threat made by a bunch of anonymous thugs against a sitting mayor of a major American city, and they say, if I remember correctly, we're not just challenging the idea of having Ted Wheeler as mayor, we're challenging the idea of having mayors at all. We want abolition. They just keep on saying it, they're really not pretending. And no, this isn't the same, this isn't the thousands of people who were showing up for the daytime protests, but this is some of the same people who stuck around night after night, and the destruction downtown is experiencing a renaissance, and here we go, and into the middle of this fray. So you reported on Wheeler's standing up to them, saying that they needed to be unmasked and arrested last week. And in response, one of our city councilmen has chided him. So here we have from Willamette Week, which is our local free news weekly, Hardesty. Joanne Hardesty is the council person in question. Hardesty says Wheeler must hold police accountable if he wants an end to destructive marches. In chiding Wheeler, Hardesty waded into an ongoing civic debate about Portland policing and the nighttime protests by a group of roughly 100 leftists. So I will say that that subheadline in particular is just full of I would say beyond imprecise but inaccurate language as well. Nighttime protests, ongoing civic debate, she chiding him, and I used that word when I was introducing this, but here we go. Just the first paragraph. Portland City Commissioner Joanne Hardesty issued a measured rebuke, that's more accurate, Wednesday to Mayor Ted Wheeler's call for a crackdown on Black Bloc marchers who smash windows, saying the city shouldn't expect peace until it disciplines police officers who thrashed protesters last summer. This is a sitting city commissioner who says the city in which she has a seat should not expect peace until police officers who thrashed protesters last summer are disciplined. Now, I am unaware of thrashing that happened, and there will be plenty of people who say, oh, here's a video here. Like, you know what? We covered this in more detail than I care to, but I am not compelled that the Portland police or the feds, when they were allowed to be here, did thrashing here in Portland. I am not compelled.
Yeah, no, and of course everything here is turned on its head, cause and
Right.
effect wise. This was going on long before
Yes.
the BLM protests, long before George Floyd.
Yes.
And I think again this week, the anarchists have
Wait. What was going on long before George Floyd?
the anarchists in the Pacific Northwest.
Right, but this wasn't.
No.
This was not going on
This is
before
new,
that.
but my point is the idea that the precipitating event is the thrashing of the anarchists by police is absurd, especially in the larger context. And you can see this in the fact that when we arrived in Portland, they were already periodically taking over intersections and what would the term be? Harassing drivers, threatening them.
Mm-hmm.
It happened again this week.
Yeah.
So the point is, this is the same old being portrayed in a context that generates sympathy on some fronts, but the smart people aren't buying it.